zero feelings. And from how we see him reacting, we believe that. It's hard to believe you're just as chilled as Omarion when we see your actions differently.
Well, I'm not just as chill as Omarion. Okay. And I say it all the time.
So you are bothered.
I'm not Omarion. So when I'm continually disrespected, and see, O is also not on the show.
Right.
So he doesn't have that kind of pressure.
But now, the things I wanted to talk to you about are more so the things I saw on social media. So not even on the show. Because, like I said, I wanted to talk to you when I saw the thing you put out there about your son and how you text April and all of that.
Okay, so let's break this down into two parts.
Okay.
Omarion is not on the show. That is an added pressure. And if you notice that when we are on a hiatus, meaning when our show goes off air, we start filming before the next franchise is even done airing. Like, they're filming simultaneously. So technically, we are filming 2 seasons in a year. We begin 2 seasons. So I say that to say that we get 2 months off. So it seems like 10 months off to you guys, because that's the time that takes for us to come back on between seasons. There's 2 months where we get a break. You understand? So it's like Love and Hip Hop New York is going to come on after us, right? They're going to forget about us. And then we'll be accused whenever we go through a real scenario in life and we react, if it makes a blog, right? If it trumps whatever the Love and Hip Hop New York and Miami cast are doing, and it makes it to the Shade Room or Gossip of the City or this one or that one, right? Then we're trying to stay relevant. Oh, it's a storyline. Oh, it's this, it's that. It's like we can't just have a life. Like, shit can't just happen to us. Like, some bitch is going through the same shit who actually does have feelings for her baby daddy, but she only has 300 followers and nobody knows about her and nobody cares. No one's invested. So
we're all crazy to think that.
I'm not saying that you're crazy to think that. What I'm saying is I have to go on camera and then I have to fight with production about, this is not, why are you making it about this? We have a story meeting and a story call, and we have a pre-production meeting, and you ask me questions about what I think and what I feel. So again, let's go back to 2017. Let's go back to 2018 when my son is now telling me these things, and I've never said a word publicly or privately because I'm not affected by that. But now you're sitting here asking me, well, what about April? What about her? Well, she's on Hollywood Unlocked. Okay. You know, do you think she and Fizz are dating? I don't think that they would be that morally bankrupt. I'm sorry, I don't. And it was like they all knew something that I didn't.
Right.
So, but I can't react to something that I don't know. Now, April and I had our spat, which I said, the issue is not you, it's the father of my child. What kind of made my wheels turn was she began questioning me. Almost like interrogating me about what the issue with Drew is. Why does that matter to you? Do I ask you what your issues with O are? They're none of my business. And I'm telling you right now that what I'm feeling in the moment is about the way that he cannot communicate. How I literally was lied to get my son so he could get our son for Christmas. That's not cool, right? So going into the season, I shot the scene with April, genuinely apologized. She apologized to me. We left that scene laughing, hand in hand, texting, chit-chatting, now coordinating as co-parents. I never asked about she and Drew. Never. And she admitted that several times on camera, but that wasn't the narrative that Love and Hip Hop wanted to push. As a matter of fact, they called me and said, the network doesn't like that you and April made up so fast, so we need to reshoot that. It wasn't spicy enough. Like, what? So I said...
You guys were good.
We were good. So I said, put the battery in her back, because you guys know just what to tell these motherfuckers, what to say, what to do, to really trigger a real response. I will respond according to what's said to me. Because if you go back to the live, the IG live was she and I, she was yelling at me. She was hype with me. I was over talking her. Yes, because you're not listening. You're rah, 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 rah for nothing. Like... You overstepped your bounds. I said your comment on social media was, you deserve to be slapped for that because you only have one side. And you have my number. You could have called me because this was never about you. But now you want to call me. Now that we done made the vlogs, don't talk to me offline. Because I get lied on all the time. So if I could comment publicly, you could comment publicly. We'll have the conversation publicly.
What space are you guys in right now? Because you're telling me that their relationship together does not bother you.
No.
So are you guys cordial, or probably friends isn't the word.
No, we're not cordial. I hope and pray that we can get there, because as I get tagged in clips of her interviews, literally everything she's saying she's gone through is everything I'm going through. So just lack of communication with O. She only gets $700 a month. I get $0.
So because you guys have joint, so he has when your son's with him, he has to take care of him.
Right.
Okay.
And even if we didn't have joint and I were primary on paper, I still would never ask him for child support. I wasn't raised that way.
Well, no, I mean, you can have your own feelings. I'm 100% for women getting child support when they're raising a child, because if the father's not there, you need help. I mean,
no, I get it. No, I get it. But something in me just never. I don't want that.
Right.
Again, like my love valve it's off. So when I separate, I don't want anything from you.
So let me ask you this. So as a person that follows you on Instagram, and when you go on live, and when I saw the video about your son being in the, failing the 3rd grade, as a person that's watching you, what do you want me to get from that? What are you trying to convince me of when I see, because what I'm telling you, the way I'm receiving it is, I want to hug this girl. I want her to let this go. She's a beautiful girl. She's talented. She's could sing. You have true gifts that God has blessed you with. And I feel like a lot of your energy is still in this statement, in this situation. It's I want to lock you in a room with Sierra, and I want Sierra to tell you whatever she did to say, you know what, I'm the shit, fuck Future. I'm gonna go out here and be the baddest woman. But see,
why you keep going back to baby daddy elements? Remove him.
But you don't remove him. That's the point I'm trying to make.
I can't remove him. We have a child together. There's no removing him.
Right.
So at the end of the day, there's a line of communication that has to happen. I'm not going to go to court. I want to, but my son's too old for that now. And keep in mind, I didn't take him to begin with. He took me. So when I hear April bitching about the fact that she got served papers on Mother's Day, so what? I got served papers at 6 a.m. while I was breastfeeding, and Drew was laying in my bed at my parents' house. Not helping me, but even in the same physical space. So who cares? I sacked up. I did what the hell I had to do as a single mom, and that's just it. But I don't like the narrative that is being pushed and that has been pushed for 6 years on reality TV, and I'm not going to be quiet anymore. You don't respect me. You have never respected me. Don't say you gave me a platform. Let's be honest. Me being on Love and Hip Hop didn't have shit to do with him. It actually came because all the cast from season 1 were my friends. Long before Love and Hip Hop was ever even thought of in Hollywood. I was off the grid. I was walking to and from a 9 to 5. I literally was walking to the grocery store when I got the call from casting. And what they said to me was the craziest thing. I said, what? Your name has come up since the beginning of this process. You know Morgan Hardman, you know Ray J, you know Hazel, you know this one, you know that. Literally, you know the entire cast. You even know Omarion. Do you know April? No. When Omarion and I actually had communication, and we did keep, running into each other, that was the beginning of he and April's relationship. I never met April. Had disappeared after that, as you probably should when you're in a relationship, right? And it wasn't like he and I were friends. We literally just kept crossing paths.
Right.
So she was like, well, you had a deal with Con Live. And I said, yeah. She said, well, when we Googled you, your stage name, Callie, came up. But no one had a working phone number on you. And then Omarion gave us Fizz. And when he came in, he gave us your information. We Googled you, and you just so happened to be Callie.
Right.
But we've been looking for you. So it had nothing to do with him.
So let me ask you, I asked you this question, but I don't think, I might have cut you off before you answer it. When you go on the live rants, what do you want?
No, I didn't answer it. I'm sorry.
What is your goal in that moment? What do you want me as a person that's watching you to get from these lives? You want me to feel sympathy?
No, I don't want sympathy. I'm tired of the victim label. What I want is for people to start listening. Stop listening to what you see on reality TV, because I'm telling you a million times over, when I sit down and I talk to them, or I sit down and I film these scenes, I'm not ever focused on the two of them. If anyone is paying attention, or if they have half a brain, They clearly hear me state time and again, stop disrespecting me. Why is it now that when you, April, come out about being in a relationship with Drew, all of a sudden you're disrespectful, but 2 weeks ago we were saying we were going to get together for lunch? I'm lost. Like, why are you in my face asking me or stating, you guys aren't friends, what could you possibly have to talk about? I don't know, dumbass. Maybe the human we created. Who at the time was in summer school for not passing 3rd grade. Mm-hmm. Who at that time I had told his father he needs to go to the dentist because he has a lot of work that he needs, and I never got a text back. So there are a lot of things that needed to be discussed that are none of your fucking business.
Like my business.
No, April's.
April's business.
So, and they're not the world's business. But how many times am I going to get beat down? How much hate mail am I going to get? How many times?
What does it say?
Basically, I'm shocked you haven't killed yourself yet. Bitch, you don't deserve to be a mom. Your son should be embarrassed of you. When are you just going to jump already? Damn. Blah, blah. Like, I get real hate mail.
That's terrible.
So, again, people just need to shut up and listen. Like, there's a child here who I have bit my tongue and sat on my hands and took the bullet and took the heat for many, many years. And it's not that I'm not willing to protect my son, but what I'm not going to do anymore is continue to be disrespected. I'm not going to be unheard. And if I have to die trying, that's what I'm going to do in order to get the father of my child to understand this is about one thing and one thing only.
So do you think
stop disrespecting me? Stop letting your bitches disrespect me. It's really quite simple.
But guess what? That might not happen.
And it might not. It might not. But again, there's people who also don't know my upbringing and the way that I was raised. In this family, they're like failure in any form, fashion, any facet of your life is never an option. My mother tried to mend fences with my biological father until season 2, 2016 of this show. Literally.
Would you say that I know this is a stressful place, but would you say that you're in a happy space right now?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Okay. Now that I know that the show is over, and see, that's the other thing. I get thoroughly confused with Drew because he'll apologize on camera, and then he'll throw like a dig in there. Season 5, he was dating my ex-girlfriend's ex-best friend, and says to me, I'm sorry for putting out there to the world, this, that, and the third. You're a great mom. I realize that I'll never be able to have a relationship, or I should just stay single. And I went into, have I ever pried into your personal life? He said no. Well, that didn't make the edit. Because, see, that's not the narrative that they want to push. They don't want to push the narrative that I don't bother this man for money. I don't bother this man about who's been around my son. I don't do that. So if I never get that respect,